telling you guys, this bike is so clean and crispy, man. I'm telling you, look at that thing. The blue, the fender, the tank, the front fender, absolutely perfect. No scratch. It just, actually, I have a very tiny scratch in the back that I could buff out. No dings, no dents. The chrome is almost flawless. It's just such a beautiful bike. I absolutely love it. And you know what? The centerpiece of this bike, and this is one of the reasons, the main reason why I got it, was because of the Springer front end. It's just a really, really beautiful bike, guys, let me tell you. So what I wanted to, let me move over here. What I wanted to talk to you guys about is the next steps, the next stages. I think I'm in the way here. What I wanted to talk to you guys about are the next stages, what I'm gonna do to the bike. So if you guys are new to this channel, this is my 2002 Springer Softail. It's got about 13,000 miles on it. It's, when I bought it just a couple of weeks ago, or I guess a month or two ago, it was all original, never touched, all stock. And all we did was add some custom dynamics, a custom dynamics headlight, custom dynamics front halo, white turn signals. We installed also some custom dynamics rear lighting, the running lights and turn signals, and also a tail light. We did an Arlen Ness Big Sucker air cleaner. We also did Big Shot staggered Vance & Hines pipes. It's tuned by Mike over at Torque Custom Cycles with a Power Vision tuner. And and we have obviously our Saddleman seat, and I do like it with the pillion on it. I think it looks better. I'm gonna keep it like this. And also, you know, I'm gonna be putting on a bag probably to do some longer trips. And I promise you guys, we're gonna be doing a lot of road trips on this bike, so I can show you guys how it looks and, you know, how it all is. It's definitely going to be different. I got the Road Glide right here to the left of me. It's definitely gonna be, you know, old school, different type of content. Yeah, it's just an amazing bike, and I can't wait to bring you guys that footage. But today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about what you guys have been mentioning, probably a couple thousand comments ever since I put the bike on the channel. You guys have been telling me that I have to replace the cam chain tensioners, and you're right. I always commented back either yes, I know, definitely, whatever, but I never talked about it yet. So I just wanted to show you guys, this is what I pulled up because I wasn't sure as to what years was affected. So what I did was I did some of my own research, and what I was able to find was this. Question, what year did Harley have problems with cam chain tensioners? This is what it says. It's widely known that Harley twin cam 88's problematic years were between 1999 and 2002, which this is, to 2006. My son's Dyna is a 2007, and that's a 96. These early twin cam 88 models experienced a lot of issues, causing Harley to design the slightly better TC88B, the TC96 in later years. So those are the years. I wasn't too sure. I knew they had problems, but I wasn't sure about the years. But either way, 2002, it says 2002, so I could have issues potentially. So this is, after all my research and talking to Mike, both Mikes at Torque Custom Cycles, this is what happens. It could happen on a brand new bike with 1 mile, 2 miles, 5 miles, or up to 80,000 miles. Nobody knows when it's going to happen, but does it happen? Yes. What happens is the cam chain tensioners, the plastic that actually is up against the chain, that fails. And what happens is there are two cam chain tensioners, not like an M8. So if you guys aren't aware, twin cam, hence the word twin cam, has two camshafts, which has two chains and two chain cam tensioners. On the M8, like my Road Glide, any of the M8s have a single camshaft with a single cam chain tensioner and a single chain. So this actually has two. So what happens is the cam chain tensioner plastic piece that actually rides up against the chain that actually applies pressure to keep chain tension on it actually fails and then goes down inside of the cam chest and could create a lot of havoc and a lot of damage. Also, what could happen once that cam chain tensioner is not providing any more chain tension on the chain is loose. Also, what could happen is the cam could go out of timing, and then what happens is pistons possibly hit the valve, create a Chernobyl style meltdown in your engine. So that's the issue with that. So here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to definitely do the cam chain tensioners because I don't want a meltdown. I don't want any problems with my motor. When am I going to do that? I'm probably going to do that in December or January, and here's why. Because when I talk to Mike, it's not as easy as it is on an M8. Replacing both cam chain tensioners require a lot more disassembly on the twin cam motor. So having said that, while I have everything apart, we got to throw some new cams in. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace the cam chain tensioners, put in something obviously a lot better, something aftermarket. We're going to put in the fueling 574 cams in this motor. So instead of normally what shops do is they take off the pushrod sleeves, pushrod tubes, they with a bolt cutter cut the push rods and take them out so you don't have to take the top of the motor apart and then do your cams. But here's another thing that I wasn't aware about. What happens on these motors is the rocker shafts, actually the bolts that hold the rocker shafts actually start backing out, get loose, and then your rocker shaft starts moving up and down and could potentially be a very big problem, a big problem, because then obviously if that breaks, it's not moving the valves anymore, pistons coming up and down, and if that so-called valve is down when the piston's coming up, another meltdown. So that's what we're gonna do. That is the game plan, is to do the chain tensioners, 574 cams. We're gonna also do a high velocity S&S oil pump. Another thing, more research that I've been doing on this, once you replace this oil pump, which you should, it basically solves all the heating, oil, lubricating problems that this motor has. It's gonna run cooler, it's going to get better lubrication. It is very, very big item, very big thing on this motor. So cam chain tensioners, high velocity, high flow oil pump. We're gonna do the fueling 574 cams. And then as we have the top of the motor apart, we're going to retorque our rocker shafts. So this way everything's tight. I just want everything to be on the up and up. He'll go over all the bolts, make sure they're properly torqued, make sure there's no bolts loose, no bolts starting to back out. So this way I have a good product. At the end, this way I don't want to have to do the camshafts and then say during the summer next year, all of a sudden I have a rocker shaft loose or something like that. So we're going to go over the whole engine, make sure it's good, and then we'll re-dyno tune it with the Power Vision. So this way the bike is going to sound absolutely insane. It sounds really, really good now, but you guys know as soon as you add camshafts or a cam into an M8, it just wakens the bike up. It sounds absolutely totally different, insane. The bike is just going to run better. I'll have more power, which I would like, but it's really not necessary. The bike's a cruiser. It's a classic cruiser. Believe it or not, it's a 2002 in, well, let me see what year, 2020, let me see, 11. So in 2027, I could actually get historic plates for this, which is crazy. I think it used to be 20 years, but I believe, I might be wrong, but now it's 25 years. Somebody actually commented in one of my videos, 25 years to get historic plates. But I'm just trying to tell you guys that it's an old bike. It is 22 years old. It looks literally brand new, like showroom condition. It is so clean. I was lucky. I was fortunate to find this bike. And if you guys aren't aware of the story, how this bike was in Japan, go back and check out that video. I give you kind of the scoop on why and how this bike was from Japan. So it's a pretty cool story. If you're also interested, I just did a video also because I got 4 speeding tickets and it wasn't even me. Go back and check that video out because that was really interesting. And if you're a moto vlogger or a car vlogger, you're definitely going to want to see that one. But that's what I'm going to do with the motor, either December or January. I'm not going to do it now because the bike is going to go down for a couple weeks. So I got some ride videos coming up and planned for you guys. I'm also going to be doing a hard mounted sissy bar. I'm not sure which one yet. Definitely going to do one. Another thing now, while it goes in for the work for the motor, I'm also going to be doing, I made up my mind. I'm also going to be doing, I just don't know what size yet, but I'm definitely going to do it either a 12 or a 14-inch mini ape. We're going to do that with all the chrome lines and the clear stainless covered brake lines and stuff like that. I'm definitely going to do that. It's going to just dress the bike up. We're going to run all these wires through the bar just to dress it up, clean it up, and to have the bars just a little tad bit higher, not too much, because you guys know I don't want a bar that's too high because then I have some shoulder pain still, not really as much as I used to, but the higher the bars are, I tend to start getting shoulder pains, and a lot of people do. If your hands are much higher than your shoulders, that's when that impingement feeling starts coming in. If you guys are, older like me, so you definitely don't want too tall of a bar, where it's like 18 or 20-inch apes. That's just not comfortable. I don't want that. Probably going to go with, like I said, I'll even say maybe a 10 or a 12 or a 14. One of those sizes. I'll probably have to get it, mock it up to the bike, and then sit on it and see how I feel just to be sure. So that's everything that's going to be done to this bike in December and January. But yes, I know I'm fully aware of the cam chain tensioners. And if you guys have a bike like this, between those years, 1999 to 02 and 2006, you're definitely going to want, if you've never changed them out, get it done immediately because there's not a timeline as far as mileage goes. They could bust at 500 miles or you may be one of the lucky ones and ride all the way up until 50, 60,000 miles and then they bust. But there's never a time limit on that, but it is a known problem and it does happen. But other than that, guys, I will tell you, this bike is absolutely beautiful. It is gorgeous. Like everybody that has seen it so far, my friends and people that I don't even know, let me tell you, it is an absolutely gorgeous, clean bike. The blue, this is called Impact Blue Pearl. I love the paint. There's a lot of metallic in it. I love the decal, how they did it with the Harley Davidson and the wing on here. It's a really gorgeous bike. All the chrome on it is super clean. Even the black, the crinkle finish on all the engine casing is literally like, it looks like it's got like 2,000 miles. If I look over to my Harley Road Glide 2024 right here to the left of me, I already have 11,000 miles on it. It looks pretty much exactly how clean the 24 looks. So it looks really good. I'm definitely keeping the spoked wheels. I think I gotta have spoked wheels on this bike. I'm definitely not putting any solid wheels. I think the spoked wheels fit this bike properly. I wanna keep it classic looking, yet I wanna put some new touches on it as far as like engine performance a little bit, but I don't wanna turn it into something that it's not, if that makes sense. I also don't want to put too much chrome bling on it because I think that's also going to take away from the bike. Like I mentioned to you guys before, I don't want a showroom bike shows type of bike. I want a bike that I'm going to ride. And you guys know I ride a lot, and I'm going to ride this bike. This bike is going to be ridden. We're definitely going to do some trips yet this year, and then starting next spring and all into summer, we're going to be doing a lot of videos on it. Unless, you never know, unless somebody offers me a ton of money for it, then hey, it is what it is. It's got to go. You know what I mean? Everything has a price, but I'm sure I'll be able to find another one as good as this, because they are out there. They definitely are out there. All right, that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about my future ideas for the bike. Let me know what you guys think about the cam chain tensioners. Have you guys had a problem on the bike? Let me know down below in the comments. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And all of the parts that I've mentioned on this bike, there's links down below in the video description. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace out.